Hey, Ounce of Politics here. I'm re-uploading an old video, this time with a better mic and better camera, because there was a question I often got back in the day. Did you vote for Joe Biden or Donald Trump? I voted for Joe Biden, and I did so for a multitude of reasons, but today I wanted to focus on the two reasons that mattered to me the most. First, Joe Biden was more qualified. Strictly in terms of a resume, Joe Biden had nearly 40 years of experience in the legislative branch, on top of his executive branch experience when he served as vice president and his later then served the one term as president. To make this more relatable, more down to earth, let's say you're hiring for a restaurant. You're hiring a head chef, and you have two candidates. One candidate has 40 plus years of experience in the kitchen. The second candidate is just really popular with like 30% of the population of your local town. On paper, any successful business owner is going to choose the more qualified candidate for the job. And Trump himself would say something like meritocracy. The second reason is most important to me. On August 11th and 12th of 2017, there was something called the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. It began as a protest against the removal of a Confederate statue. Later that night, a group of neo-Nazis showed up carrying tiki torches and chanting things like, "The Jews will not replace us," and "blood and soil." You know, shit Nazis say. The next day, the people of Charlottesville came out and counter-protested the Nazis, as any decent American would. This created a violent environment where Nazis and everyday Americans were clashing in the streets. One of those Nazis got into a car and drove through a crowd of roughly 40 people, killing a woman named Heather Heyer. The reason I bring all of that up is because it took the President of the United States, the most powerful person on the planet, 3 days to say anything about the situation. And when he finally did, he blamed both sides. One of those sides were Nazis. And I'll be damned if we live in a country where the president gives credence, cover, or comfort to Nazis. Now, hindsight is 2020. No pun intended, because Biden was president in 2020. He was clearly past his prime mentally. He was a devout Zionist, which enabled the genocide of the Palestinian people using taxpayer dollars. And that's just indefensible. His unwavering support for Israel, as well as Trump's, is something we've all witnessed on live television for the past 3 years. His refusal to step aside and pass the torch to the next generation did real damage to the Democratic Party. Although I will admit, it was nice to not wake up every morning and check Twitter and find out which country we're about to invade or bomb and what president we've kidnapped. That being said, I feel like that was the best way I could describe the choice I had to pick between a senile old guy who stumbles up the stairs and someone who was totally fine with good people on both sides when it came to Nazis. So hopefully that's a good summary and better upload of my previous video. Hope to check you around.